Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/AITA. In today's episode, AITA for telling my brother it's pathetic that he can't do the basics of what his wife did. AITA for walking out of a wedding I was a part of and ruining the day. AITA for no allowing my neighbors to make a copy of my apartment key. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. AITA for telling my brother it's pathetic that he can't do the basics of what his wife did. On phone, sorry. I love my SIL and brother. They have 2 kids and my SIL Rachel was a kinda awesome. She worked from home part-time but also took care of the kids and all the chores. I was over multiple times and the house was spotless. Really, I thought she was just extra cleaning when she had guests, but no. When I had my kid, she showed me her schedule. She would be up at 5 for meal prepping for the whole day. Like she never stopped, and a lot of her tips helped me with my own home. Now my brother lost his job and it was decided that Rachel would go back to work full-time and he would stay at home. The kids are in kindergarten and 1st grade, he has this on easy mode. I've been over to help sometimes since he just sucks at it. The house is always a mess, the kids are usually late to school, he asked me to drive them after the school talk to him. He doesn't cook, it just sad. He got in a huge argument with his wife since dinner wasn't done and she had to make it. He was ranting about how it's unfair and that he is trying. I told him it's pathetic he can't do the basic of what his wife did. He has 8 hours free and he can't keep the house clean. I told him she will divorce him if he doesn't stop being lazy and figure it out. He left after calling me a jerk and my mom is now on me for what I said. Thank you for the mac and cheese recipes. Updates. I love my SIL, my mom apologized to me. Rachel sent my mom what the kitchen and house looks like. The messages from the school and apparently a text argument about how he shouldn't be doing this. She gave him 2 options, get his shit together or get out. I learned a lot more about the situation and learned he wasn't packing the kids' lunches the last 2 days. I think he just broke his marriage. NTA. She worked part-time and did it all. He has no job at all and can't even somewhat cut it. How were the kids late? I mean, one time can always happen, but constantly? I think being a SOP is hard. But with both kids going to school, he should have the time to do the most of it. The kids are supposed to be dropped off at 7:30-8, class is at 8:15. He has been getting them there at 8:30 most days. I don't get it. I've been late a few times, but the school has to talk to him about it. Hell, the bus is an option, but you have to wake up earlier for that. NTA. You're not wrong. Sure, it could have been put more elegantly, but sugarcoating wouldn't have made your point any less valid. This is his job now, and he is underperforming. Maybe this subpar work effort is why he lost his other job to begin with. I don't get what he is doing all day. My kids are in school now too, and it take me at most 3 hours to have the house spotless. NTA. I was prepared to call you an because waking up at 5 a.m. to keep everything sorted is absolutely insane. But that's not what she's asking for, she's asking for him to cook dinner, get the kids to school, and keep the house semi-clean. Then to go and complain to you about it shows no self-awareness. He needs to figure this out. These are the basics of being a parent and being an adult. You maybe could have said it nicer, but at worst it was a justified move. NTA. He's an incompetent adult, father, and spouse. The children are school-aged. He has all day to get things done while the children are in school. I used to work with profoundly disabled children. Some couldn't do anything for themselves, and therefore the parents had to do everything for them. The parents still got them to school on time. If he can't do anything, then he's just another mouth that his wife has to feed and another person for her to look after. NTA. Honestly, you're right. If he cannot prove that that system will work, Sil may realize that she doesn't really need him as a partner if he can't earn his keep. I get that it's a rough adjustment he has to make, but he's not getting any aspect of a stay-at-home parent right. Especially considering the fact that he's not working, and the kids are at school for a good chunk of the day. The fact that Sil was able to do it all with non-school-aged kids, while also working part-time, should be a wake-up call. Chances are she could probably manage without him if it came down to it. NTA, my dad did everything when we were kids. All the cooking and cleaning and school runs, extracurricular activity runs, lunches, bath times, everything. Men are absolutely just as capable to do the things that are often left to women. For some reason, so many of them think they can't or shouldn't have to. AITA for walking out of a wedding I was a part of and ruining the day? I dated my ex-boyfriend John for 4 years and got serious enough where we starting planning for our future, wedding, kids, etc. I thought we were pretty happy, but last year he dumped me pretty suddenly. I tried to figure out what went wrong, but he said it was personal and that I should respect his space. During this time, my best friend Stacy and her fiancé Tom were my rocks, letting me crash at their place and just being overwhelmingly supportive and loving. When Stacy asked me to be her maid of honor, I thought it was a no-brainer and happily took on the task. Fast forward to what happened this weekend. The morning of the wedding, Tom asked me to meet him for breakfast super early in the AM before all of the festivities. I thought it was weird, but assumed he maybe wanted me to pass something on to Stacy. What happened instead was that Tom let me know that a few days prior, Stacy admitted to him that she had an affair with John, which was what led to my breakup. He said that Stacy wanted to come clean to start their marriage fresh, and that he was forgiving her to move forward. He had gone back and forth between telling me, and finally decided to spill the beans. I guess he had expected me to forgive Stacy too because the affair was so long ago. The opposite pretty much happened, and I just walked out on the wedding. It ended up causing a huge mess because I was basically running the whole show. Stacy made me do everything, so she didn't even know what was happening at certain times or who to call. Not only that, but everyone realized that the MOH wasn't there. She had headshots and bios of the party on her wedding page, and news of the affair eventually got out because her cousin knew John. Stacy and Tom have both been slandering me online now, saying that I ruined their once-in-a-lifetime moment. Some of their friends are on their side, saying that I should have handled the situation more privately, and at least stuck out the wedding since it was so last minute. I personally don't know what Tom expected, but either way I've been getting bombarded with texts and I heard that Stacy has been so upset she's had to take time off work, which does make me feel like an AH. Especially since I've just been ignoring her calls. Hard NTA on this one. Was walking out of the wedding the day of a nice thing to do? Not particularly. But what on earth did they expect would happen by telling you? And on the wedding day, they knew they were playing with fire. They chose when to tell you this information. Simply walking out because whoa Nelly, I bet there were a ton of conflicting emotions, was pretty adult. You didn't cause a huge scene. You simply extricated yourself from the situation. NTA. I would have pretended to forgive her and then given hell of a MOH speech, but I'm petty like that. NTA. The person you call your best friend went behind your back and betrayed you. The karma came right back to her like a boomerang. NTA. What did she expect? For you to stand up there next to her with a smile on your face knowing she's the reason your relationship ended? Tom has some nerve too. He should have known you'd be rightfully upset. Time to hit the block button. These people are not your friends. AITA for no allowing my neighbors to make a copy of my apartment key? So I recently just moved into my new apartment complex less than 60 days ago. There are only 4 units in my complex, 2 downstairs and 2 upstairs. I reside downstairs in the second apartment. Everyone here has lived here for at least 5 years, whilst the oldest resident has resided here for 8. Everyone knows everyone and has been good friends with each other for as long as each one has been a resident. Everyone in my building has children besides me, majority are single mothers, I am the only man. Apparently, there is an unspoken agreement I at first had any knowledge of between the rest of the tenants that the hallway door is to never be locked. No one ever locks the hallway door. That is until I arrived. From my knowledge, no one in the building has a hallway key, just the keys to their apartments. The cost to replace a key is $70 for each, quoted from my landlord. I just finished up my place and have officially moved in for about 3 weeks now. Each time I leave and come back from my complex, I always lock the hallway door. It's always been a hit to lock all doors behind me. My neighbor that works night shifts has arrived home for the past couple of weeks to a locked hallway door, which is a surprise given that the door hasn't been locked for years. Apparently everyone lost their key their first year or so living in the complex. I will hear continuously knocking and banging until someone comes to open the door. The first few nights I was awakened and got up to unlock the door. After the first week I've since stopped, and my neighbor will be up to unlock it to let our neighbor in. If my neighbor isn't home or doesn't wake up to come to the door, she will knock and bang on every window and yell until someone comes open the door. Yesterday my neighbor asked I could please leave the door unlocked, given it has always been that way and would like me to continue doing so. I expressed that while we live in a dangerous neighborhood, rated one of the top 5 most dangerous in our city, is feel more safe knowing strangers can't enter the building. Whilst she understood my concerns, she assured me no one ever comes here but residents and invited visitors, and my safety is not to worry. I had to beg to differ. She then asks would I mind lending her my hall key so she can make a copy and let others make their own copy from hers. I politely declined because I wasn't comfortable with that. She offered to pay me to make a copy myself, in which I also declined. For the past week my neighbors has barely spoken to me. We usually tell each other good morning and chat a little, or just a hi and bye even, but not even that nowadays. My neighbor, whom volunteers at the food bank in our community, would come back with goodies and share with everyone in the complex. She has since knocked on my door to deliver me a box, as she usually would every Wednesday. I don't care for the food, but for the change in this routine leads me to believe I may have upset the rest of the tenants, and I honestly don't want any bad blood. So my understanding is this is a communal hallway leading to individual apartment entrances? And the doors to individual apartments can be locked? I don't understand why you wouldn't let them copy your hallway key if that's the case, tbh. It costs like $3 to $5. Barring clarification, YTA. If they pay you for a copy, then I don't really see your issue anymore. It's $70 for the landlord to do it, so it would be cheaper if you did it for everyone. If you want that community and connection, then you have to give a little to get a little back. YTA. Agreed. They are allowed to have a key, it's just so expensive to go through the landlord. These single women have been fine with the hall door being unlocked, but OP thinks it's a danger. The least you could do would be to help them save a few bucks by copying the key. What would you lose by doing that? WTF? YTA. Yeah, you caused bad blood. You declined every solution proposed. Just get the key copied and have them pay you. It costs a few dollars, and the goodwill will mean you don't have beef with your neighbors. Or just be an but don't whine about it and wonder what went wrong. And that's what tipping me to YTA here. The neighbors have proposed countless solutions to his unwillingness to leave the door open, something they've already been doing for years. It would literally not cost him anything to copy the key for them. Everyone wins. He doesn't have to worry, and the women don't have to get trapped outside at night. He's declining all of that and then wondering why they don't seem to have taken a liking to them. YTA, you're probably making it more dangerous for your neighbors by locking them outside the building. YTA. She made a reasonable request so that she and the others could accommodate your wishes, and you said no. Yes, they have a preference to leave the door unlocked, but they will lock it for you as long as they can also return to their homes. They have already agreed to allow your comfort zone of having the door locked. Why on earth would you be uncomfortable about letting them have keys to the door that you share? You have said that they could get new ones from the landlord, but they would be $70 apiece. For some people, that's a lot of money. Your comfort is not the final deciding factor in all matters of shared safety and justice. Get over yourself and make a copy of your key for her. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.